Hello, it's Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. This time I've got two replays for you in the recently buffed Tier 8 French heavy tank, the AMX 65T. Now I've got two replays in it, both good replays in their own right, but the second one in particular we go on to have a crazy amount of damage for a Tier 8 heavy tank. So definitely worth watching through and staying for that second one because yeah, I say you'll see we do have a ridiculous amount of damage. But anyway, on for the tank. Basically, it was +1, -1 this weekend at point doing the replays, and I decided that it's been a while since I marked a tank, so it's a good opportunity to play a Tier 8 tank and free mark a tank again, because since they've messed with the mark challenges, it's kind of made it a bit of a drag marking tanks. So I thought I'd give it a go during a +1 matchmaking. I have now free marked this tank and got it out of the way, but it's given me a good opportunity to play it, and to see new changes in the recently buffed tank. And I've got to say, I've actually quite enjoyed playing this tank. I've played it with the 120mm gun, so you've got 400 alpha. And on the premium rounds, they essentially buffed the penetration, and you've got 285 penetration on your APCR premium rounds, which is absolutely disgusting in this tank. And I haven't played this tank minus the buff. Before the buff, I'm 4.6.0, but my understanding is it really wasn't very good from people I've spoken to. But now, playing it with a 400 alpha, bearing in mind it is +1, -1 weekend, which does make a difference, it's actually been really good because they have sort of buffed the armour of the tank, and when you're top tier and you're usually gun depression and stuff, you can bounce shots, not reliably I must say, so you don't need to be surprised if you get penned, but you can bounce shots, so it just gives you that little bit more time. But using this 400 alpha against Tier 8 tanks, you just really feel like you're hurting them. And yeah, you'll see in the second game how much damage you can just rack up when things go your way. I've really enjoyed it. But anyway, on for the replay. So we're on Proc. There is no fun piggies in the game, so that is brilliant because this tank actually doesn't do too well against the Sky Police, because they can, quite slow, you're quite big boy, you can get hit quite easily by the artillery. But yeah, we're in this position which is how we use our gun depression just to poke up. We're being careful not to overextend ourselves as much as we can, just because you are quite a big tank. You do have quite a big turret. So when you're poking up here, if I poke up too high, I can get shot in the side of the turret. So that is something to bear in mind. You just got to be a little bit careful. Just pick your times. Just when you think your enemy have fired the shots at someone else, or you just got to play cautiously, but still try and get those shots in where you can. It's a lot easier now because I'm only having to worry about enemy tank shooting me, not worried about getting shot from the sky. So it is a lot easier to play in that scenario. If I was playing against a fun police, there's no way I would have been sat here this long, because I would have got shot and I would have been asking for it, because you can't stay so long when you've got artillery in the game. You have to adjust. You still have to play aggressively, but you have to at least try and make it a bit easier, harder to get shot. You can see this position's worked out really well because our light tanks aren't doing a great job at spotting. I'm able to push over on this ridge and actually light up all the guys sort of pushing down the 1-2 line, and I've racked up sort of just under 2,000 assistance, and obviously when I'm playing for my third mark of excellence, the assistance damage is going to come in really crucial, really, to free mark, to getting the tanks marked. Now this British heavy's made a mistake. He's pushed right over. I put a shot into him. He's got tracked, and he's just got absolutely annihilated trying to take that bowl. Yeah, a bit of a mistake by him. He was never going to take it at that stage of the game, but yeah, luckily for me, he does get taken out, because if he was in the bowl, it would have been a little bit annoying for me. But yeah, unfortunately he's got taken out. This Emil Chu's giving me the side of his turret, so I'm going to take the opportunity. And you can see where he got his 400 alpha, you don't have to be exposing yourself for that long. You've got like a 10-second reload, but you are really hurting things when you shoot with them. And obviously since the 6.0 and you've got all the accuracy buffs you can put on this tank, it's really helped it. Now this defender, he obviously shot me earlier, but I got a really nice shot. You know, typical Russian tanks. Got straight through the engine and set them on fire, and that's really boosted my damage. And got a little bit of revenge because he shot me earlier and penned me. We're hoping now he's going to sort of panic when he looks at me. He pulls back, and now he gives me the opportunity to shoot him again. We finish him off, putting us up to 3,000 damage, 2,300 assistance. So we've got sort of over a 5k combined game, and that's sort of what we're aiming for. When he's free marking this tank at the moment, it wasn't overly difficult as far as marks goes, but it was basically about 3,000 damage would keep you where you are. That's basically what you was aiming for. So then if you really wanted to make a dent, you really wanted to get to about 5,000. That would get you close to going up a percent. 4,000 would just probably do about 0.30. So that's where you're sort of aiming for. Once you've got to the 3,000, you know you're safe. Getting to 5,000 is great. Anything more than that, you're really going to increase your mark quite a lot. So that's the sort of thing we was aiming for and we was going for. You can see this game has been, we've sort of won this comfortably, haven't we? But things could have changed. You know, if I was too aggressive at the start and I got taken out, I wouldn't have been lighting up my team, lighting up for my friendly team, so they might have got really close down the 1-2 line before getting spotted because no one was spotting them, and then things can turn. I did make a mistake earlier and I sort of overextended and I got shot from the train track. I lost most of my health. That's probably the first big mistake I made of the game, but fortunately I had the hit points to take that gamble. I probably wouldn't have taken that gamble if I was already on a low hit points. But yeah, so we're just seeing if we get a nice shot into anything, the main stuff on the hill, get a nice shot into the French heavy, which I'm in, putting us up to over 4,000 damage. We're trying to now get a shot into this general, but it just gets taken out before I fire my shot. So there's one tank left to take, and we're not expecting to get it, but we're going to try. He's just pulling back. We think the opportunity's gone. As he turns around, we fire the shot in and picking ourselves up another kill, bringing us into the first replay. But as I said, stay with us because the next replay is a big one. We picked up 4 kills, 4,300 damage, just shy of 3,000 assistance. So all in all, quite a nice game. Also got the ace tanker, got a first mark, high caliber. But yeah, now that one's out the way, we'll see you in a bit for the second replay of the video. Okay, thanks for staying with us for the second game of the video. And this time we're on Arctic region, where we go on to have a whopper game. Quite importantly to mention, there is no fun police in this game, which has allowed me to use this position how I did. I wouldn't have been able to use it like this if there was a fun police in the game, but fortunately there wasn't, so I took advantage of that and I decided to go to the heavy flank. We're going to push up here, just get ready to shoot anything which he crosses, so we can get a nice early shot in. We've seen this Hawk 12 was looking to get a shot into him, we get one into him, which is really nice. We're then going to move forward, get into this little dip while we can, because now we've got a nice little hold down position for the beginning of the game, just to catch anyone out crossing, trying to get into that position in the corner like this P30. Put a nice shot into him, I think with high roll for like 440. That's the beauty of this gun, having the 400 alpha, you can hit those sort of high rolls. Now we've got this Type 4 heavy. Now because we've got a 285 pen, if we aim correctly, if we aim in the right spot, we can pen this guy front on, and we managed to do just that. So we've got another shot in, he's still advancing. Obviously it's a nasty tank if he does get there, so I really want to put the Punisher in. I high rolled again for 440, slapping in another shot, already just racking up the damage early doors. We're going to try and get another shot into him if we can. Once it gets too close, we're probably going to have to reposition. We do get another one in, and he's taking him down, putting him up to 800 hit points. You know, that's what this gun can do in the right situations. So yeah, that was really nice. Now he's moved into a position where I can't quite get shots in now. It's risky for me to poke because the enemy are fully aware where I am, and they've got to better positions to shoot me. So I've sort of outlived that sort of position, but you know, I've got 2,000 damage out of it. This French heavy tank, tier 9 heavy tank's pushed in, I've got to get into position so I can put him under threat, because he can't just full send me. I mean, he could, but in theory he should get shot by 3 tanks if he does so. So that's why I'm just going to see if I can get a shot into now. Unfortunately, I don't go through the cupola, and I missed the first shot, which is a shame because that could have been 800 hit points of him gone. But we're still in a good position. He's looking for shots. You can see that's the problem with that tank. Well, he does. He's got a very big turret, so it gives you easy shots when he's diverting his tension elsewhere. So we do get one in. We can try and get a second shot in, which unfortunately we bounce, but we don't take any damage in return. So it's gone pretty well so far. He's now in all sorts of trouble, and we managed to slap another shot in. I think, by the way, I got shot by a Tiger 2 there, and I think he could be firing HE at me. We'll find out. But we get a nice shot into AMX 30, and already on to like 3,000 damage. Yeah, and you can just see, obviously, if there was fun police in this game, this position would be dangerous. I do play it sometimes. What you need to do is, when you know the artillery hasn't shot yet, there's a position just to the left of me. If you get right underneath that ridge, just while the artillery's not shooting, it's difficult for the artillery to get shots into you. Not impossible, but difficult. So that's the sort of things I would do. But yeah, so already this start of the game, you know, there's loads of tanks left, and we're up to 4,000 damage already. So already I'm sensing it could be a good game. I'm having a look on the right hand side, and I can see the enemy are sort of you know, coming around that, but we've got quite a nice little defence on the right hand side of the map, and I'm not that far away to get from the base if I have to from here, so I'm not concerned about base being capped whatsoever, because I know I can get back. At the moment I'm just thinking, just try and get as much damage in as we can while they're in front of me. So we got a nice little shot in there, and we're just seeing if we can take this AMX 30 out, because if he's in an annoying position, it means I can't push up. But we've got a nice shot into the Tiger 2, and there you go, we lost 10 hit points. That's from the Tiger 2 firing HE at us. So yeah, we won't say anything about that. But we're going to see if we can get another shot into him. We're now going to wait for this AMX 30 to see if he overextends again. He almost did, but he pulled back in. I would really like to finish him off, because again, he's just a bit of a pest for me in that position. You know, he's lighting me up and just making life a little bit awkward. So I'm just going to wait, because I just feel like he might poke him. He does just for a split second, and we managed to take him out, putting us up to 5,000 damage, 1,000 assistance, and we are yeah, still 6 tanks in this game. We're going to try and get a shot. This is an absolute filthy shot through the Tiger 2's cupola. They had like a pixel shot, and they're racking up another shot of damage. You know, this game's going really well for us. There is still 6 tanks left. Our enemies are pushing down from the other side of the map, so I'm thinking they actually might light them up here, and then I'm going to be able to get shots in. So I know there's going to be TDs camping, which just I can't quite light at the moment, and I really don't want to just waste this game and get punished. So it's kind of in the balance of when do you push forward, but you don't want to be chasing the last bit of damage, but at the same time I don't want to throw my tank away. We get a nice shot into that Scorpion, and now we're going to see if we can get another shot into this TD. We look for a shot. I should have aimed high and gone for the cupola. Unfortunately, this tank behind me means I got shot. I would have avoided that shot, but I didn't realise it's just driven right behind me when I was trying to reverse back. So yeah, could have almost threw that game there, but yeah, what can you do? So we're just going to try and, yeah, at this point, it's not won yet, you know, it's 6-5, it's still a very close game, you know. If I threw my tank away here, we definitely could lose. Unfortunately, we kind of just crash into each other there. I'm trying to look for shots on those TDs, but again, I don't want to get slapped by that SU or double tapped and then just lose this game. So I do have to be careful, because at one point I want to push across. Once that Tiger 2's dead, which he is, that's given me the freedom now to actually potentially make that push across, because I'm not going to get lit from the right hand side of the hill anymore. As I move through, I do actually take a shot off the T-44, but I bounce it. We then managed to put one into return. We're using these rocks in front of me just to block line of sight from the TDs as we advance, just making it difficult for them to get a shot into me. But again, because it's a 5 versus 3, But you know, things could really change. You know, I just taken a shot off of the SU, put me on to 681 hit points. We don't really want him to hit us again. Fortunately, he didn't quite have a shot and he shot someone else. But we're already on to like 6,400 damage, and there's still a fair amount of hit points left for me. You know, I'm just thinking, oh, I just want to get these extra pens in, so we can really finish off this with a great game. But yeah, again, at the same time, you know, like I say, it isn't one yet. You know, we're looking good for us, but it isn't one. You know, a mistake, get double tapped, you could get taken out. Now, I rushed out. I should have gone through the cupola, but at the same time, I didn't have that much time to aim because I didn't want to eat a shot at that stage. You know, I didn't want to lose those hit points, so that's why I just didn't. I didn't take the time. But he's shot now, so I've got more of a time. We put one in through the cupola, putting us up to just under 7,000 damage. I'd like to push around, but this light has put itself into a position where he could get shots into our side, so that's kind of causing problems for me at the moment. So I'm going to pull back. Like I say, it's a 4 versus 3 now, but one of our tanks is just not really in the game. They're still at the base, so it's pretty much really a 3 versus 3 for the for the purpose of the game at this stage, because one of them's not doing anything for us. So we're just being a little bit careful. I was hoping that light might push around and then we could finish him off, and then that would allow us the freedom to push up, but he doesn't seem to be wanting to do that, so we're going to push up slowly and see if we can get a shot in. We're hoping our medium will shoot from the side if they push me, or we're hoping he will light them up to give us that bit of intel. Unfortunately, the light tank has just got spotted. We're going to go and see if we can get a shot into him, potentially finishing him off. Unfortunately, we threw up our lines, missed that shot. The SU comes in and we're panicking a little bit, but he bounces, he rams us, and now taking him down to a 1-shot for us, which is brilliant, and we're going to be able to finish him off with the cupola. So that worked out quite nicely in the end, putting us up to 7,400 damage. We're going to hopefully be able to finish a Scorpion Shear. We can eat a shot, we do take him out, and now it's just this light tank to take out. And yeah, as you can see, it's been a whopping game. Now this bit here is really frustrating because, spoiler alert, I fluffed my shot. You'll see here, I should have just waited, predicting what he did. I shot just a split second too early because I thought he was going to turn, and that's really annoying because he had 300 hit points. I'm on like 7,700, so that would have put us basically on to 8,000 raw damage. So I'm kind of a bit gutted I fluffed that, but either way, you know, still been a massive game. You know, to do 7,700 damage in a tier 8 heavy tank is really good, and it just shows you what you can do in the right scenario, you know, when you've got this 400 alpha gun. So 2,700 base XP, 7,700 raw damage, 3 kills, and I think 1,400 assistance and 1,000 blocked. So yeah, really nice game. Hope you enjoyed that replay. As I say, I have 3 Marcus tanks. I've got a couple more replays in it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. And as always, happy tanking.